So today, what we will discuss, that is first the thing that we'll discuss, that is termed as a string. Now you may say that you are using the string and you are very confident about string in Python and others language, and you are very confident. It's very good if you are confident. But in case of C, there are some special things to be done whenever we are using the C string. It's a little bit something special. In that you may not find feasible in other programming languages. But in case of C, the concept of string is a little bit special. So now just let me know, anyone in the chat, that I have opened up the paint and I have just written the string. Is this is visible? Then only I will proceed. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. Fine. So what is string? In case of C programming language, we have discussed the array in the last class. So what is string? String is, first of all, it is an character array. Now, those who have forgot that what is the array? Array is collection of homogeneous elements stored in contiguous memory location. Fine. But character array, that is common almost in all language. Means list of characters or collection of characters, this is common. But another very important thing is, it is always ended with null. Null is what here? It's again, it's a null character. How it looks like? This is your null character. So whenever we are talking about string, it means that string in C, it's a array of characters, but ended with null. That is very important. Very important. And other than that, if I consider that, is it again stored in contiguous locations? Yes, that has to be stored in contiguous location, but it has to be ended with null. Means, for example, if I write, suppose there is a string. Now, another important thing I have discussed in the first class, that how I can differentiate between a character and a string. So whenever we mention the string here, it is in double quote if it is a this way. But now, if I want to store it, suppose I'm taking one array. Now, in case of C, you will not find any data type named as string. You need to take again the array. So you take character. As I am directly assigning, I may keep this area as blank. So this is one way of assignment. So that means whenever I need to use the string, I need to declare one character array. Now, if you are directly assigning, you may skip the size. Otherwise, the size information must be there. Otherwise, the size information must be there. Okay. So this is one way of assigning a character array. Another way can be what? Another way can be like this. Here within the double quote, you are taking all individual characters and you have assigned. Now, the moment you are assigning it within a double quote to one character array, the null symbol, the null, the terminator of this string will be assigned implicitly. You no need to do anything else. But if your plan is to access each and individual character and you want to store it like this, and now as you have mentioned each and individual character, you need to mention the null character too. Okay. So what is the difference? Now it's in character array, it's okay. If I use double quote, compiler will assume that yes, it's a string. So it will give the null character implicitly. You no need to mention it. It's there. Don't think that it's not there. It's there. But if you want to assign individual character to one character array, then you need to give the null character at the end. Now, how I can access whether it is being assigned in this manner or whether it is being assigned in this manner, how we can access. Let's say that this is an array. So let us take it in this way. Now, what about the null character? Null character will also be there. So this is your location 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is your entire array where it will be there. And you need to, if you want to access now this, you need to go through the entire array. And you can use this null pointer, sorry, not the null pointer, this null character as your terminator or the ending of any string. Now, this is a very common question that what is the difference between a null character and this NULL null? You will find that we will use this null whenever we do the linked list program or any kind of pointer assignment and all, we will use this. This is basically a method. But if I consider this is a character. We consider it as a single character. This slash followed by the 0 is being considered as a single character. Okay. Now, if I want to print this string, how we can do it or how we should proceed. Now, this is my array which is named as the city. So I can access, like the normal program, I can access the each and individual with this normal array accessing control. And see, if this is your array named as city, then you are supposed to access it in this way. Okay. Now, how I can write? So here it is 0 to 7 is there. So what should I write? Now my number of original characters is 0 to 6 and 7 is the position where the null character is present. So what should I write? If I use a loop, what should I write? That is again a point of concern. What do you think, that I should take it 0 to 7 or 0 to 6? Or we can take any. I can take it 0 to 6, means I can write it as I equals to 0. Then while I less than equals to 6, then printf %c. The reason is I want to print each and individual character separately. And this will be ct of I. And then here one I plus plus will be there, and I can do this way. What may be the another way? This is one of the way. That where, but for this what? I need to know how many characters are there. What is the ending point? I need to count the number of characters. Fine. But obviously, that's not at all a feasible solution. That's not at all a feasible thing. So, and we are not using at all the null character. So, generally what we do, generally we start in this way. Remember that I is being declared somewhere as integer and all. And we can use it in this way. Not equals to null. We generally access the string using this null character as our terminator. So whenever you will be dealing with all these, you need to remember that if it is a string and if you are dealing with C code, it is always having its endpoint as null. Okay. Now, another way of accessing it. So I have shown one way where you need to know the number of characters as a whole. Then you need to know that how using null character we can do so. Another way is there. What? Another way that string is one array. So you can access the string using your pointer notation also. So how we can do that? Now you have your this array. Fine. Then take another pointer variable. Say this is a pointer variable. Because I want to access the array using the pointer. So pointer variable is required. And what kind of array I'm going to access? Now I'm going to access one character array. So character type of pointer is important. Now, how I can do that? I directly cannot use this one. So I should take the base address of the array. Take the base address of the array to the pointer variable and then proceed. Now, how I can process? CTI is basically giving what? Value. CTI is giving you the value of the CT array in the ith position. So here I need to access the value. So this can be written in this way. If PTR not equals to null, then you do the printf. So these are the three different ways that if I have one static information, how I can get it. Please off the video, it's not required. There is a student who has turned on the video. Please off it. It's not required. So these are the ways. Now the point is that we are accessing and all these thing, and so is there any chance? And another way, these are if I, okay, so Home Bashu raised the hand. Okay, let me unmute. Yes, Shoham, what is your query? Yes, Shoham, what is your query? Shoham, are you there?
ভুল করে ওটা প্রেস হয়ে গেছিল।
Okay, okay, fine. Okay. So these are the things that I have discussed as of now. That is how we can access as an individual character. But is there any, so whenever we are doing this, is the null character will be printed? No. Printed, there is no option that print, or no way that the printf will print the null character. No, it won't get printed. Okay. Now the point next, that is there only way to access individual character? I cannot access the entire string. Yes, we can. We can the string input directly, and we can take the output also. So what we need to do? We need to, for that, we need to declare the array first. And whenever you are taking the input, use percentage. S is for string. Whenever you are trying to print the output, you will need to use the percentage. So whenever you will keep the percentage, is that null pointer use and all this, will it create any problem? No. But what is the problem? If I use a single percentage, what is the problem? Problem is that if I use %s, if I say that the Shoham has raised, so I am using his name. If I give Shoham space Basu, it cannot take the full name. If I use just the normal percentage, it will take only the Shoham, that is before the space symbol. So there is one option is there, and that is true for printing statement also. So whenever a space comes, it consider that, okay, it's not should be taken. Only this much will be taken. So if I take, so there is an option comes with unformatted IO function, gets, and gets for taking the input and puts for giving the output. But in many compilers, the gates or the puts actually give warning. The reason is they don't want to work with a concept that as there is no fair format and no specification how much thing will be taken, what it will do. Now it may try to create a buffer overflow in the main memory, and because of this, they don't allow to use gets and puts, this unformatted IO function. But in some of the system, these may work. So if I use percentage, how I can do it? Another way of writing this, that instead of writing only percentage, it is being modified in this way. Double quote is always there. If I say this is double quote. Then use the percent symbol. Then use one third bracket. Then use this symbol. Then use slash in and then S. So this entire thing to be used if I want to use percentage, which should work same as the gets function. Okay. So these are the very basic things for string. Now, there are few concepts that how we can deal with whenever we are dealing with the string. What are the things we can do and what are the things we cannot do? For example, that if there is if there are two string, if there are two string, one is character, suppose s1 equals to hello, another string, and another way. This is one way of writing. Another way is p. You can write hello in this way also. So if you are writing only s1, will it work? No. You need to give the equal symbol will be here. You need to give the third bracket. Otherwise, it will not work. Now, what are the things possible to do? If I declare another string s2 of size 20. If I do now, if I try to do s2 equals to s1, will it work? This is a hello. 5 individual characters are there. So if I take another character array which can accommodate 20 characters, and if I try to assign it here, will it work? It will not work. But if I take another pointer and if I if I take another pointer and if I write q equals to p, both are pointer. This string is being declared as this way and this is in this. Will it work? Yes, it will work. So these are very interesting things. These are very interesting things. Another point. See why I'm discussing all these things, because whenever you will going to solve those output oriented question or in the program, you will find sometime the error and you may not able to understand what is the reason of the error. Another thing, suppose you have taken s1 equals to hello, or say hi, you have taken hi, and character p also as hi. Now if I now want to take s1 equals to another string that is by, will it work even if you give third bracket or No, it will not work. If I take another pointer, or if in the same pointer, if I want to assign the by, it will work. So that means if I use the array format of the string, I cannot assign it one string to another, and I cannot assign any other string to it. Means once a string is being defined, it cannot be initialized with another character. So, but if I use the pointer format, these can be done easily. Okay. So I request all of you, just a request, just to check that you just take your open any of the compiler and just check whether you can do it properly or not, because the moment you will go for the competitive coding, even in the very basic level, start with sometimes with string, you need to take that how you are able to take the input or not. Do not use get sports, because in those platform it's not supposed to work. Take your name as a input and print it. Just do it now. Take your name as an input and print it. Just do it. So I have shown you all the options. You do trial and error. Means this is just for 5 minutes. Just check whether you are able to do it or not. If not, try again and again later. But just take the 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. It will take. It will not take 5 minutes. So hardly 3-4 minutes. Means 3-2 lines actually there. So just try it. Take your name as input and print it. Your full name space surname. Okay. You may take as a two different input. You may try to print it. Whatever I have discussed, just check whether it's hitting your mind or not. Then we will go for few more things. Yes, Someshwar, is there any problem with you? Oh, maybe Someshwar also raised the hand by mistake. Okay, I hope you have checked that whether you are able to do it or not. Means if you didn't have tried now because of your laziness, I will request you that please do it. That may be now or later, but please do it. Otherwise, what will happen when you know everything, maybe, but you may not, you may say, ma'am, I will use Python. Yes, that's very okay. But if you come in a situation, if you go or if you face in some situation where you cannot use the Python, then you will face the problem. Or you may be asked in during the interview that suppose there are interviewers, we have seen them during bulk recruitment that they knew basically the C, because Python is required if a person is being appointed in a project where the machine learning and all is required. Otherwise, though Python is of not of that much use. Yes, you may say no, I will crack the job with Python. Yeah, that's also okay. But knowing only Python may not be very helpful thing for your career, because ultimately you need to code in all the traditional languages. So the point is that now what we will do, that is there are various function. There is a library which is called string.h, which can support various string operations. There are inbuilt functions that those are available and which can support various string related operations. Now, what are those? Or few popular functions are, something is there which is actually calculating the length of the string, strlen. You may say we know all these things, very good. If you know, just brush up. If you do not know, check all this. strlen, what it's doing? Now it basically calculates the length of the string. How you can calculate? What you need to pass? If you have one character array, you need to pass strlen the array name, means string name. Okay. What it will return? Now it will return the length, which is nothing but an integer. So take one integer variable to store the return value. So whenever we use strlen, so what do we know as of now? As of now, we know that a string is a character array ended with another extra character, that is the null. So whenever we try to count this XYZ string, what will be the result? No, it will not count the null. It will give you the number of character, and here it is 3. If you consider this, it will give you the 3. Okay. Now, if the input is like this, then yes, it will count all the characters, including its space. So string length means it will start from the base address, because you are passing the base address of the array, and it will go through the entire thing and it will stop its counting once it goes to the null character. So the space is not null, so space will be calculated. The space will be calculated. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a 12 character string. Fine. So strl is there, which is going to help you to calculate the string length. Fine. What other functions are there? There are many functions. One function is there which is helping you to convert a string to the lowercase, say str, lwr, and you need to pass the base address of the array, string array. Similarly, you have the function to make something in uppercase. You have the function to copy the string. You have the function to copy the string. So what I have shown previously, now whenever we try to copy the content of one array into another, obviously it was not taking. If it is a pointer, then it is okay. But if it's not pointer, if it is a normal array, then obviously it's not going to work. It will, means I cannot assign two array, one is S1 and S2, one array into another if it is a normal character array string. So what should I do now? I should take it in this way. So which function is there? There is a function which is available in the string library, which is written as strcpy. What are the parameters are there? Target and source. That means what? Now you have one string hello and another string, uh, of size, say size 10 is there, enough space to store this. Then if you want to copy the content of S1 to S2, you should write strcpy S2 comma S1. Okay. So that is the thing. If I want to take the input, I can take the input or I can assign. But if I want to take, means if I want to copy, I can use this strcpy function, which should take two parameters. The first parameter is the target where to copy, and second parameter is the source, that which particular string had to be copied. So this is your thing. Now you may say that is it necessary that every time I need to use strcpy, I cannot do it normally? Yes, you can do. Then you need to assign each and individual character to another one. Means if I say that I have two characters, means character array, suppose target and source, and you have already some input S1, which is the base address is being assigned to the source, and then you can do it in this way, that while source not equals to null, then what we will do, then I will copy each and individual character. So target equals to source, and then you need to increase both source and target. And at the end, what you need to do, see, it is copying all the character except the null. So at the end, you should assign this target, means after the loop, you should assign this null character. Okay. So this is the way we can do it. This is the way we can do it. Now another point of thing is that internally how this strcpy function is being defined. Internally, this strcpy function is being means described or given the parameter as strcpy char star t, but the next one is with one constant keyword is given in the original definition. So if this const keyword is there, that means what? It actually tells that the string in the source should remain constant. Means each and individual characters that is there, you are not supposed to change it. That is your internal definition of your strcpy. So how this const actually work in different situation? Again, I'm discussing this not for strcpy. I am discussing this. The reason is you will get this const keyword with the pointer whenever we use different character array or the string. Suppose there is a pointer star p, again hello suppose written, and as I have shown earlier, if I now want to assign some other character to this pointer, yes, it's okay. If I want to assign total one set of words, yes, that is also okay. But if this is being declared as const character, say q, with the same word hello, it's a pointer. But the moment now you will going to assign either a single character, this is also character, so either a single character or you want to assign this kind of thing, then what will happen? If I say that I will assign this, then it will do what? It will produce one error. But if I do this, it will work. Now, let us understand what is the reason. In the first case, when we have assigned cat star p equals to hello, here pointer is a simple variable. P is a pointer variable and the string is made up with this. But whenever we are declaring it, with the const keyword, we are mentioning that the string is fixed. You cannot change the string. That is why whenever you are trying to assign A to the star Q, it's producing the error. Because star Q is your pointer. So it will produce the error. But the main pointer variable name, that is the Q, that is not fixed. So what will happen? Now that the Q equals to by, that will not generate any error. Now if I change the positions, means here I have made entire char Q as a const, means I have made the string fixed. So I cannot change the content of the string. Star Q is string. I cannot contain the change of this, but I can change the content of Q. But if I change the position of the letter const, what will happen? Means the word const. If I write it as character, then const, if I write it as character const, then P. If I declare and if I assign some XYZ here, what will happen? It means that string is fixed, but pointer is not fixed. So again, if I try to assign, string is fixed, but the pointer is not. The same thing. Const character star Q or const star P. In any case, the string is fixed. So if string is fixed, I cannot assign anything to the star. But I can assign anything to the single value P. Now, if it is being written as char star const P, and then you assign something else. Now, pointer become fixed. Now, pointer, this P become fixed. So this kind of assignment where the star is not there, it will give the error. But string is now not fixed. String is now not fixed. And if I want to fix both, then I need to use the const keyword before everything. Const char star const. It will make const, then char, then star, then const. It will make this particular part makes what? This particular part makes pointer as fixed, and declaring the const here create everything as a fix. So this will create the situation where both the string and the pointer both will be fixed. Both will be fixed. So what we have understood, that if I consider the strcpy, which is a inbuilt function, there the target is a normal pointer, but the source, that is actually internally declared as a constant string. Constant string. So that means that I cannot change the content of the source string. Yes, that is very good. Otherwise, it may generate something else which is actually create some vulnerability. That's a problem. So what is good and what is the use of now const? So I have discussed that if I make use of const keyword before character star Q, or in any way, whenever I use the star symbol to make it a pointer, it is or character array, if I use the const before the star, be it before the char or be it after the char word, at each point, it will make string as fixed. It will make string fixed. But pointer variable is not fixed. Now, if I use the char, if I use the char and const in this way, that is type of the data is char. What type of data? Na constant pointer. You may consider this is making your pointer as a fix, not the string. And if I use both before this and before this, it will make everything is fixed. So these will be required, not doing for normal programs. These will be required whenever you will going to solve different output oriented all those things, because at that time everything looks very okay. And moreover, first of all, we are generally ignore all these pointer and all first. Then we ignore the string and the const. We never mind that what it's supposed to do. We are not bothered that what it's supposed to do. Everything we think, oh, everything is okay. Eh, Whatever we are doing, that is always correct, and so we are not bothered about. We are generally we don't bother about that what it is. Fine. So this is the thing. If I use the strcpy internally, how things are happening, why nothing is getting disturbed, these are the explanation of that. Next, we will discuss the next function. See, there are plenty of functions are there. We are discussing only few famous or few uh, most important functions. Next function is that is called your cat, that is strcat, which is being used for concatenation, which is being used for concatenation. strcat, string concatenation or string cat. Okay. So you may use this in this way that you can take your name and surname in two different array and you can try to merge it. So what are the parameters it will take? Target and source. Okay. So, and how the things will be prepared? Suppose your source string is, say your source string is hello, and your target string is say world. This is your source and target. Now, once I try to print the target, what will happen? Now things actually getting appended one by one. Things actually getting appended one by one. So if I want to print only the source, it will print the hello. But if I want to, so where the result will get stored? In the target only. So whenever I try to print the target, if these are my, this will print me world hello. See, when you try to print this, there is no space. No space is there. No. because you didn't have taken any space. Now, if you are taking the space separately, then only you will get a space. So by this time, I hope you have understood that space is a separate character. So you need to do this. So one thing is what? In other programming language, using the plus symbol may help you to concat the string. But here, unless until you are doing a manual copy of one to another and all, means take a two different array, then take a large array, then do the individual copying of the string and all, strcat is there to help you. String concatenation, and the first parameter is considered as target, second parameter is source. So whatever the content of the target, it may be blank also. If you want to make it blank, you may blank, it's not a problem. So what you just will do the concatenation of the source string just after the target string, and the new string can be printed if you print the target. Okay. Next is here your strcmp. What it do? Now it actually very interesting. It will compare two string, whether they are same or whether they are different. Now, how they do this? They actually compare the characters position wise. Whenever they will find a mismatch, they will stop and they will find the difference of the ASCII values of first non-matching pairs of the characters. And if they reaches to end, that means they are equal. So if they are equal, at the end, you will find 0. But if they are not equal, it will stop there and it will match the characters. Means it will find the difference between the first non-matched characters. Fine. Suppose two variables are there. Now you can see that in both the situation, the moment if you take now S means both the character in strcmp, what it will do? Now it will just do one thing. Means if you do strcmp s1 comma s2, so what it is doing? A P P L E B A T. It will match, and the first thing it will find that okay, it's not matching. So ASCII values of A minus ASCII values of B, that will be calculated and it will return that only. So string comparison function, it will take two parameters and it will return us the value. It will return us a value. The returned value will be 0 if two strings are identical. If strings are not identical, then it will return the first unmatched character's ASCII value difference. Now, if the point is that if they are of capital and small means this and this, what it will generate. If I take separately, then ASCII value of capital A is different from ASCII value of small a. So difference will be calculated in that way only. Okay. So this way we can deal with the string comparison. And another thing that it will return a non-zero value. It's not important that whether the value is positive or negative. It's not important. It may be positive, it may be negative, it may be anything. But if a mismatch is found, you will find a value, and which is basically difference between the ASCII values of those characters. Okay. Now we may say if one string is long, one string is short. Yes, no issue. Whatever the string is short, that will be ended with the null. And once one string is complete, the difference will be taken with the null and that character in another string, and it will stop there. Once a mismatch character is being found, it will just compare and it will stop there. The further comparisons will not take place at all. Okay. So now I will ask you to do, I'm writing here a few things and check whether you are able to predict their output or not. Because again, these are very common type of output oriented questions. In fact, you will find I'm using these words because you will get the questions if you search the Google or anything with this string type of questions or anything of recruitment, you will find even directly these words. That's why I'm directly writing this. Even the next questions are also coming in same word even. Many. You will find many recruitment questions with the same word even. So take these 4 questions and say whatever you want to say, what will be the output. And if you're not understanding, that is also okay. I will explain. Please check these 4 questions. Don't try to execute and give the output. Don't try to execute, because if you try to execute, then you say the answer, that is of no use. I have already allowed you to unmute yourself. Don't write. Oh, you are busy in giving attendance only.
পরে যখন আজকে ভালো হয় মা লোকটা কি হবে মা লোকটার কথা বলে তো আগে জিজ্ঞেস করবো আর কমেডি একটা বলতে হবে কেন কেন আমি ঘটনাটা কি হলো বল সোমবার কি আমাদের সাথে যাবে না তো
2070
এ মিউট কর।
number 2070 2070
একটুখানির জন্য 2 ঘন্টা ক্লাস
this is the problem. The moment I do, means this shows that how much serious a person in the class. I don't know. Your career, you will decide. Who am I to decide all this thing? Solve this 4. Tell me the answer. Then we will go for 1 or 2 more. Because these are very interesting and as well as painful during the exam. Because you understand, this will be some exam where no grace mark will be given, no mercy marking will be there. You have to do whatever, and you can get everything that you know.
ম্যাম
বলে ভালো।
ম্যাম কোয়েশ্চেন নাম্বার 3 এর ওই CH প্লাস I ইজ ইকুয়াল টু 0।
না, নাল একটাতে হচ্ছে
ও আচ্ছা নাল।
প্রথমটাতে দেয়া আছে 67, তারপরের লাইনটা দেয়া আছে নাল।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে।
ম্যাম
হুম,
ম্যাম ফর লুপটাতে কি কোনো ব্র্যাকেট নেই কোশ্চেন নাম্বার 3 তে?
না কোনো ব্র্যাকেট নেই। হ্যাঁ, একটা সেমিকোলন 67 এর পাশে বসবে, সেইটা আমি দিতে ভুলে গেছি, কিন্তু আদারওয়াইজ আর কি ফর লুপের পাশে কোনো ব্র্যাকেট নেই। ফর লুপটা ব্র্যাকেটহীন। So can I expect some answer now? You can tell the answer. You can tell the answer. Already we have, means whatever we have discussed, you may go with those basic concepts, then only you can give the answer. So can I get some answer? Okay, anyway, once you done, anyone can give the answer, then we can discuss. I'm waiting for your response. Only 4 questions are here. So why I'm not getting any answer? Please don't write the answer in the chat. Whatever you want to tell, unmute yourself and tell that. So what will be the output for first one? What will be the output for first one?
Ma'am, 0.
Why 0?
Ma'am, because if you are taking the pointer plus string length, so at that point there is no string value. That means I won't say that there is null value. So if null values integer is 0, so that's why it's 0.
Yeah, your explanation is correct. So those rest of the people may be not very confident about it. So I'm explaining it. See, S means it will take the base address. That is the starting address of the array. Then it is added with the strlen s, that is string length. So string length is taking the entire length, right? So once it takes entire length, here how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I consider the space, then it is 11, 12. So 12 characters are there. So once you add this with the base address, it will actually point to the last character, which is nothing but the null. ASCII value of the null character is 0. That's why the first one will give the output as 0. What will be the output for second one?
Ma'am,
Hmm?
ma'am, for the first one, if we just do means the string length plus 1 means, and then also it will 0. Means if the string length is 12, so if we go for 13, s plus 13, then also it should be 0.
Then it will create something else. Means there is no question of even 13. Means if some you are going now, you are talking about that you will go out of the range. Then
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is the exact value is there? Nobody knows.
Okay, ma'am. Means a garbage value will come out.
Yeah, garbage may be anything, maybe.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
What is the means if you are trying to access something out of the bound, as in the C there is no out of bound checking, it may give you anything. Nobody can think about what it will give. Okay, what will be the output for second one? See, this is the, I understand that this is new to you, this kind of printf statement. This is very common type. If you go for the C output and if it involves string questions, obviously that they will involve. If you go with this kind of questions, these are actually calculated in this way that whatever the number is being there, here it is 5, and we are passing it to the printf function. So what it will do now, it will take the string, it will take the base address and it will add 5. So now if you add 5, the first character will be M here. Or you can think it in this way, that I need to move to the 5th location from starting from the 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th character is M. From there, whatever is there, it must be get printed. So it will print Mille. From the facsimile, it will print the Mille. This is a very common type of question. This is a very common type of question in the MCQ part, that whatever the integer values is there, that value is added with the base address, and then whatever the location is being found, it will try to print from there only. So it will try to print from there and it will print the Mille. Because if I add it, the 5th location, if I start from the 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, FASCI, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th location is M, MILE. So Mille, the Mille will get printed. Hmm? Hello?
Ma'am, please repeat once.
Yeah, I'm repeating this. Whenever you get this kind of some integer plus 1 string passing through the printf, what it do now, it takes the base address starting point of the string, add the integer which is given there. So here it is given as 5. So base address of the string plus 5. Base address of the string plus 5. So I had described in the last class, whenever we do any kind of addition with the pointer, the addition result depends on the type of the pointer. Means how many location it will move the pointer, that depends on the type of the pointer. So when I do base address plus 5, where the string is actually one character array, so it will move 5 different locations. Now these location each of 1 byte. So here base address of the string, whatever it is, plus 5 will move to 5th character. In case of array, how we can calculate the location? Now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you calculate 0 location is for F, 1 location is for A, 2 location is for S, 3 location is for C, 4 for I, and 5th is your M. So MILE, right? So only MILE will get printed. So the printf statement will print the part from the 5th location. Clear? আর কারো কোনো প্রবলেম আছে? আর কারোর কোনো প্রবলেম আছে? নেই আশা করছি। Okay. What will be the answer of third one? What will be the answer of third one? Okay, again, no answer. So let me tell you first. 67 is the ASCII value of capital C.
ম্যাম
Hmm?
সি থেকে এস অবধি প্রিন্ট হবে?
না বাবা, অত কিছু প্রিন্ট হতে পারবে না, দুঃখের বিষয় আর কি।
This will see 19. This will print 19C. না 19টা সি
Exactly.
প্রিন্ট হবে।
Exactly. 19C will get printed. 67 is for capital C. CH is your array name. So base address plus I, base address plus I. So CH plus I is actually accessing individual location of the array. Every time it is being assigned with 67. Now, one of you has asked me, ma'am, the for loop is not having any bracket. Yes, it's not having any bracket because it's not required. When we do not use any bracket, only the line that is followed by the loop statement that will actually under the control of the loop statement only. So for 0 to 18th location, because it's less than 19, so from 0 to 18th location, it will store the capital C. Now, once everything is done, so at the end, I'm going to consider it as a string. So at the end, I will assign, so one null character is being assigned. So once the null character is being assigned, it will be treated as the string only. So as it is being treated as string, so whenever you print it using %s, it will try to print the string. What is the string name? Now that is CH. So the 19C will be printed. Okay, this is
ম্যাম এখানে টাইপ কনভার্সনটা কোথায় হচ্ছে?
কোনো টাইপ কনভার্সনের তো প্রয়োজনই নেই। Whenever I think you have either missed the first class or you have ignored that. If I give ASCII value, means if I give an integer value to a character, if there is a match with the ASCII chart, it will, and if I try to print it in the character version, it will give you the character only. 67 is the ASCII value of the C, capital C, and you are assigning it to a character variable, so automatically it will take the C.
ওকে ম্যাম।
Fine. What will be the output for question number 4? What will be the output in question number 4?
Will it be equal?
Let me take other opinions, then only I will conclude.
ম্যাম নাম্বার 3টা থেকে একবার বলছি যে আইটা কেন প্রিন্ট হলো?
I print হবে, I কেন প্রিন্ট হতে যাবে? C প্রিন্ট হবে তো।
না ম্যাম
Yeah.
মানে 19C হলো না, তো 19C কেন হলো? শুধু C হতো।
Oh, for 19 numbers of C, the string will contain 19 খানা C
আচ্ছা
print
আচ্ছা বুঝেছি
হবে।
বুঝেছি। ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ আমি সেটাই ভাবছি যে 19
না
কেন
না না,
হলো।
19 হবে না, মানে 19টা C প্রিন্ট হবে আর কি।
আচ্ছা 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 ঠিক আছে।
So what will be the answer for question number 4?
ম্যাম এটা কি এরর আসবে?
না, এরর আসবে
ইকুয়াল টু দিয়ে তো স্ট্রিং কম্প্যারিজন হয় না।
না, হয় না তো, হওয়ার কথাও না। তাহলে
তাহলে
কি
নো হবে, নো হবে তাহলে।
হ্যাঁ, নো হবে। The reason is, although the content of both the things are same, but S1 or S2, what they will give? They will give you what? They will give you the base address. They are individually array, and obviously base address of both the string is not same. So it will print no. Means apparently it seems that content is same, so it will print equal or the error, cause for the previous all the concept, but I cannot do it. I didn't have told that it will give the error if I cannot assign. I cannot assign, but whether I can compare or not, no, not in this way. Either you need to access it through pointer and then you can check character by character. But this way, in the double equals, in case of C programming language, it's not allowed. Because whenever you are storing it, they are single dimensional array stored in two different locations. The starting address is different. So when I am comparing S1 equals to S2, they are not going to compare the content. They are actually do what? They are comparing the base address and they are which are not okay, which are not equal. So things will be no, fine. Now let me put two different questions more, then we can go for how we can use maybe the multi-dimensional string or one two-dimensional array to contain the string.
ম্যাম মানটা আরেকবার বুঝিয়ে দেবেন মানটা?
Oh, one. One-টাতে তো S, that is the base address, then string length, it's adding the string length plus S. Fine. So what it do? Now whatever the string length that will be added. Now on that particular location after addition, this star is what? This star is going to give you value at the address. Now on that particular location, actually the null character exists. Once you perform this addition, the strlen S, it will give you that null character. The ASCII value of the null character is 0. Okay.
ওকে ম্যাম।
Now, next two we will do. Then we will move to the two-dimensional string. A little bit there you will need to use the previous concept of yeah, only these two. Tell me the output. Oh no, আরেকটা দেয়া যায়, আরেকটাও খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং। These may generate output, these may generate error, whatever, means the same kind of thing. So what will be the output for these three? Yes, tell me the output.
ম্যাম প্রথমটা কি এরর হবে?
না, এরর হবে না।
Ma'am, maybe the answer for 5 is 000, means all the 10 zeros.
Okay, let me wait for few more answers, then I will give the explanation.
ম্যাম 5 এ ব্ল্যাঙ্ক স্ক্রিন দেখাবে।
মানে নো আউটপুট বলছিস, তাই তো?
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, বাকিগুলোর অ্যান্সার পাই একসাথে ডিসকাস করছি।
ম্যাম নো আউটপুট হবে প্রাইভেট।
Okay, give the answer of 6 and 7, then we'll discuss.
ম্যাম 6 এর স্ট্রিংসই প্রিন্ট হয়ে যাবে, প্রথমে এসটা প্রিন্ট হচ্ছে আর 7 এ ম্যাম ফোর্থ ইন্ডেক্সটা প্রিন্ট হবে, ই প্রিন্ট হবে, ই।
ইটা প্রিন্ট হয় মনে হয় 7 এ।
ম্যাম 7 তে ইটা হবে আর 6 এ স্ট্রিংটা।
ম্যাম 6 এ এরর জেনারেট করবে। বিকজ নন ক্যারেক্টারের জন্য স্পেস।
Okay, now let me discuss. Question number 5, কোনো আউটপুট দেবে না, it will not generate any kind of output. The reason is not that your character is being assigned with all the zeros, character array is being assigned with all the zeros, and that's why it's not giving the output. That is not the reason. Then what is the reason? The reason is very interesting. It will take everything, it will go in the proper way, everything is proper except the if statement. This if statement is taking a parameter star s, that is value at address s. Unfortunately, s is the character pointer which is being assigned with the base address of the str array, and now when you are trying to print it, no issues, but star s will evaluate to 0 all the time because the value is 0. Now, as the if is becoming non-zero, it will not give, it will not execute, mean if statement becomes false, and that's why it will not print anything. There is no other problem with the code. The problem is, means there is no problem in assigning 0. Nothing. The problem is with if star is. As this statement is there and which is responsible for printing the characters or whatever in is, it will not do that thing. So it will just skip the printf statement, and that's why you are not getting any output. And there is no question of error because there is no error actually. Okay. Now come to the question number 6. Question number 6, the output actually unpredictable. Why? Strings. This particular word is containing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characters. Okay. And it's being assigned to an array, character array, which is which is the maximum size is 7. And that's why somebody told me that the output will be strings. But no, the problem is that whenever we are dealing with the string, another part is required, another position or space is required for null. So whenever I'm giving the string, what will happen? Now the last space is reserved for the null character. Now it may be, but the space is not available for storing all the character. So what will happen? There's some overwriting or some unexpected situation may occur. So it may not give me any error, but the point is what will be the output that we cannot see. Because in the array, there is no space for my null character. That's why the output cannot be predicted because some overwriting and all those things actually happen. So you cannot see what will happen. And for question number 7, yes, only the 4th position letter will get printed. So you will get.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question number 6 one more time?
How many characters are there in the string word?
7 characters.
You are telling it 7 characters, but it's a string. So it's a 8 character.
Yes, for ma'am, null character.
Yeah. So now you are trying to fit one 8 character data in a 7 character array.
Yes, ma'am.
So that means, but what we know that for an array means character array which supposed to be considered as a string, it should be ended with the null.
Yes, ma'am.
So 7th byte is supposed to be means as per the declaration style, 7 byte supposed to be reserved for null. But when you are going to store it, no, you are not able to get the same situation. So what will happen? Some overwriting will happen.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's why it will not give any proper output.
Yes, ma'am, got it.
ম্যাম
বলে ফেল।
ম্যাম রান করালাম কিন্তু এটা স্ট্রিংস আসছে আউটপুটে।
আসবে তো আউটপুট না, স্ট্রিংস কিন্তু আসার কথা নয় এটা।
ম্যাম এটাই সেম মানে যেটা এখন লিখলেন না ওটাই রান
মানে
করালাম।
আমি এটা নরমাল স্পেসিফিক্যালি তোর সি এবং সি এর কম্পাইলার এবং স্ট্রিং এর কনসেপ্ট ওয়াইজ আউটপুট ক্যান নট বি প্রেডিক্টেড। তার কারণ হচ্ছে আমি 8 ক্যারেক্টার্স এর জিনিস 7 ক্যারেক্টার্স এ দিতে চাইছি।
আচ্ছা,
আউটপুট ক্যান নট বি প্রেডিক্টেড। আমি তো বলছি না যে এটা এরর দেবে, not give error, output cannot be predicted. So in the original version of C compiler, what will be the output that cannot be predicted?
ও আমি তো অনলাইন জিডিবিতে রান করেছি।
হ্যাঁ, সুতরাং ওখানে অনেক ফ্যাসিলিটি আলাদা থাকতে পারে, ঠিক আছে। তো অরিজিনাল সি কম্পাইলার ভার্সন ওয়াইজ
টার্বো সি যেটা থাকে,
হ্যাঁ টার্বো সি বলতে পারিস, মানে আউটপুট cannot be predicted.
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে ম্যাম।
Fine. Any type of overwriting may happen. So this type of thing means whenever we take the thing, we should consider its all the characters, including the null. And for the 7th one, obviously it will print the E because that is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th index position is E, so E will get printed. Bolo.
Ma'am, number 5 টা একবার বুঝিয়ে দেবেন?
Number 5 এ everything is okay except this statement if star s. S is the pointer. What is storing? Now it's storing the base address of the string str. So the moment I do if star s, so what is the purpose of the star? Now value at the address. So what is the value in the s? কি ভ্যালু আছে?
0
0। তাহলে if 0 মানেটা কি হয়? if 0 তো always false হয়ে যায়।
আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ
নন জিরো থাকতে হবে তাই
Exactly. তো if তো non zero হলো না, 0 হলো, so if
ওটা
it becomes
যে
0, so printf
প্রত্যেকটা
statement will
ইন্ডেক্সে জিরো আছে।
exactly, so that's why printf statement will not execute.
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে
So that is the point.
Ma'am,
বলে ফেলো।
ma'am, in this string character,
হুম।
it will not treat that zeros as character value.
That's not the problem. Problem is your if statement will evaluate to 0. 0 means false. So
Yes,
if
yes, I know that. Yes, ma'am, I understand that. But
see,
the string,
if I try to print something for 0, so for the 0, whatever the value or whatever the things that can means whatever the thing is there as per the ASCII value chart, you will get something,
oh yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So whatever the internal manipulation, it can print something, but it's not printing because it's evaluate to 0 because of that if statement.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So now we'll discuss a little bit interesting thing. Means if you want to deal with this with the C program, then you will find it interesting. See, as of now, whatever the string we have discussed and everything, those are basically one-dimensional string. One-dimensional string. Have you ever thought of the fact that if we are trying to deal with a lot of names, if we are trying to deal with a lot of names, then how that can be done properly? Or how those things should be done? As of now, what we have done, every time we have taken one string, which is nothing but one-dimensional character array, and we have dealt with this. Now I am telling, if you are being asked to take multiple names, how we can take it? Say, take us few names first. Just taking this way. Now I'm asking you that write one array to store all these things. Write one array to store all these things. Now if I write only one, what should I write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So should I write 5? Or I should write ARR and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. ARR 8, so I can write 10. What should I write? The point is, no, I cannot do this. I should consider these individuals. These individuals are individual rows in an array. I should consider these individual words this way. You need to consider, or you need to think that if you need to store a lot of words, that will actually can be done. That can be done using two-dimensional character array. So to store this, to store all these 5 words, what I should do? 5 words, so 5 rows. Character ARR 5, and the number of columns will be decided as per the number of characters, means length of each row. So here it's letters are more. So if I take a 5 cross 10, then this will be okay. Now, how I can print this? How I can print this? Or how I can store the data here? Both are very much interesting. First of all, I should know that how I can store, print it. So I know the location. I know the location of the data, and if I give the exact location of the data, that particular word will get printed. Means, now what does it mean? Now how things will, means how the entire thing is now. This is your 0th array. This is your 1 array. This is your 2 array. This is your 3 array. And this is your 4th array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different one-dimensional array is there. And the way we deal with the multi-dimensional array, almost the same concept is here. Now, another interesting thing is that if I consider this thing, you may find that if now, so that means if I want to store this kind of words, the two-dimensional array is required. But have you checked that if I go for normal two-dimensional array, what it happening? Now it result in a wastage of space. See, blank space, blank space. So many blank spaces are there. So if so many blank spaces are there, it leads to a wastage of space. Then how we can deal with this wastage of space? How you can deal with this wastage of space? Now you can deal with the wastage of space if instead of two-dimensional array, you use another thing that is called array of pointers. Why I'm trying to use this? Now I know that if I want to store the words, different words in an array, it requires one two-dimensional array where number of rows depends on how many words you are going to store, and number of columns depends on each and sorry, what will be the maximum length of a word. Based on that, the number of columns are being decided. But the problem is it incurs a lot of wastage of space. So what can be the solution? The solution can be use of array of pointers. How you can write that? You can write that in two ways. One, how I can declare the array of pointers? Now, character, because I'm going to deal with character values. Then you take this and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. As per that, separated by semicolon, each and individual, then mention it in the double quote. You can store it in this way, or you can write it in this way also. Character name, make the first one is this, then you can mention it. Mainly we use this one actually. Mention the size, and then you store different names, double quote and separated by comma, and after the bracket there will be the semicolon. So if you need to deal with this two-dimensional array or storing the, but I can say storing the words in the character array or anything, then you can go with this one. So if you are now being asked that sort the words in a dictionary manner, how you can do that? See, I have discussed about the two-dimensional array on all. How you can take it using the array of pointers, that is also the thing that I have to. So you do a trial and error and check. Again, I am giving you 5 to 6 minutes. Do one thing. You just take the input 5 words in a two-dimensional array and print it, and the next task is that you take the names and you may try to compare them. That is one thing that you can do. If you want to short them, you can do it, or at least you check whether you are able to take the input or not. I'm giving you 5 minutes of time. You just check whether you are able to do it or not. Just do that, then we will go for something else, maybe few output oriented question, and then we will go for the structure maybe. So just do this now. Just take few words and check whether you can take the input and generate the output or not. Check it now, or you may try it later also. But take at least 2-3 minutes for trying it, because I know that you are very lazy, you will not do later. Just do it. So there are two more questions are given for string. So I hope you have tried at least that how you can take the input and all. So if you didn't have tried and you are sitting that I will make it for you, I will not make it. I will just tell you that how you can do that. You can take one two-dimensional array. Number of words will be your row number, and what will be the maximum size of the string will be for your column number. And using normal scanf %s, you can take the input. Now, what you can write, you can write normal for I equals to 0, I less than equals to your row number. Then you can ask for a word and you just use percentage name I, means array name, and only one I. Okay, you can do it in this way, and then you may try to print it also within the loop. Means the way you have taken earlier the input, you may take in the same way, but the internally the concept is different. So anyway, if you want, you may do it, because names I actually stand for the base address for the ith string. So whenever you are taking the input for a, suppose name is your array, names I, so it will take the input for that entire ith array. Okay. So if you want, you may do it in that way. Okay, and now just tell the output for these two. Then we can stop for the string. There are a lot of things, but obviously we cannot do each and individual things. So we may proceed to the next thing, that is the structure, because once we can get the idea for structure and all, then we can move forward to linked list, because every one of us need to know at least the basic thing of linked list. Okay, so just tell me the what will be the output, or will it create any kind of problem or not. So what will be the output for the first one? What will be the output for the first one? What will be the output for the first one? Okay, I'm waiting for your response. I'm waiting for your response, maybe 2-3 minutes. Can we get some answer from your side? Can I get? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think that I am someone who is talking to laptop only. Anyway, so please give me some answer.
I mean, every line, the characters will be printed 4 times. Means for the first index C will be printed 4 times, then 4 times blank space, and then the next line S 4 times, like this it will happen. I think.
Yeah, okay. And for next one?
Ma'am, in first question, in the first iteration, it will have a 4 times C.
Yes, 4 times C.
And the second iteration, it will have a 4 times space. Then in third iteration, it will have 4 times S. Like this, it will print till 8, print till 3.
Yes, each and individual character will be printed 4 times in each of the line. Because we are not doing any special thing, we are accessing by all these notation, the purpose is same, accessing the each and individual character of the array. What will be the output for question number 2?
Ma'am, in number 1, I is not an array. So how we can access the S index of I?
What?
Ma'am, in question number 1, I is not an array. So how we can access the S index of I? Ma'am,
I
that is
think
written
I think you need to read a lot. Either you are not listening or not understanding a single point. I is a simple integer variable. It is being used in the loop to access the content of the array. Only that much job is being done by your I. So I is just a simple loop
Yes,
variable.
ma'am.
Ith
No, ma'am.
ith element means it will access the ith element of the array S.
Ma'am, I'm not saying that. Here, ma'am, here it is written that I bracket S.
I bracket S.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is also true. That notation can also be used. That is a valid notation. S in the bracket I, that is valid. Star S plus I is valid. I in the bracket S, that is also valid. These are normal array notation, nothing special about even the string. These are the normal array notation.
No, but how we can write A bracket S? S is simply a variable.
S is your character array.
No, ma'am. I is a variable. So how we can access the S index of I?
That is already been there. All these notations are valid. As per your C concept, all these means the notations that I have used in the printf statement, that is S in the third bracket of I, accessing array element, that is okay. Star in the first bracket S plus I, that is also okay. I in the third bracket S, that is also okay. star in the first bracket I plus s, that is also okay. All these expressions are equivalent to each other. That is already been there in the system of C. You are nothing making anything else. So that all the notations that we have used in the printf statement, all are legal and all are equivalent. So if s of I is printing C, then I of s also printing C.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, for the question number 1, when does the loop stop? When the SI becomes null character?
Exactly. Null will equal to 0 and it will stop here.
Ma'am, for the second one, it will be KK.
You have calculated or you have executed?
No, ma'am, I have counted it.
Ma'am, in second number it will be key.
Second row and the ninth index
Nine.
tag.
Yeah,
K.
actually it will print the KK. The reason is if I look at the entire paragraph and all these things, nothing is important. The important is that the maze is a two-dimensional character array where 6 rows are there. Here 6 rows are containing 6 different sentences. And and they have considered that 30 may be the maximum length of the string. So when we'll access it, how I will get it? Now, maze 2. See, I want to print the character of the location maze 2 plus 9. Both the lines are same. In the first, both the expression are actually same. The first one is taking maze in the third bracket 2 and second one is writing your maze, then plus 2, then by 9. So when I have discussed the array chapters, I have shown you that these expressions are actually same. Even in the previous example, also in previous question, the same thing is there. So maze 2 means the second line, means 0, 1, 2, means 0th line is don't walk in front of me. 1th line is, first line is I may not follow. Maze 2, actually this line, don't walk behind me. So maze 2, maze third bracket 2 or maze plus 2, in any case, it will reach the pointer to this at the beginning of this line, don't walk behind me. Now in this line, then there is a plus 9. So calculate position. Your voice is cracking, nothing is audible to me.
Ma'am, what is maze? The word maze denoting here?
The word maze meaning here, maze is just a simple two-dimensional character array that is being declared already here.
No, we are writing that maze plus 2, then after bracket plus 9.
Okay, that is the normal two-dimensional array accessing. Maze in the third bracket 2 says go to the second element of the maze array. The same thing can be written as star maze plus 2. It says second element. Here second element means the second row. Second means here 0th, first, second. This way it will go to the second element. So second element here is that particular row. Don't walk behind me. So if it goes in that row, there it will now go for the 9th location, and if you go to that particular location, only the K character is there. So for both, as both in the third bracket 2 is written or in the first bracket plus 2 is written, both expression evaluate to the same location, though. So both the time the K will get printed. Both the time the K will get printed.
Ma'am, during exam time, Do we need to count this? How many letters are in each row? Means they are less than equal to 30, or we will just say it's okay. You can go forward.
See, this is a question given to you. So if there is something is coming with the column number, if something is coming to you with column number, then it may be required, depends on question. See, here the main focus is that you need to go to a number which is within the range. If it seems to you that number of letters are not in the proper fashion, that whatever the size is being taken and whatever the string is being taken, that is mismatching, that string length is actually exactly equal or less than, then you may need to think about it. Otherwise, you no need to think or no need to count each of the characters. Okay. So these kind of things are there, and those who are not so much confident about the string, I will request them that try to do various kind of program like reversing a string, finding the abbreviation of the string, because these are just a practice. I'm not telling that will help you in final term, but the point is, if you do practice, your concepts will get cleared. Finding the abbreviation, suppose a long name is given. So far I know that in India the South Indian peoples are having the longest name because they include various parts. So if you take that kind of name, then take the abbreviation of that, or you may try with all other our name also, that all the names and our short form abbreviation, you may try with these input also, no one is stopping from there, but practice. String is something basically entire C, and from the point where the memory locations and pointer accessing is being stored, things are little bit confusing. So taking the abbreviation, reversing the string, taking multiple words, try to do the sorting over it, everything that you want to do or you can think of, do practice of all those things. Then only you will get your confidence. Otherwise, no one is there to help you for doing all these things. So now we will talk about another important thing which will be required whenever we will move to the data structure. So data structure is consists of linear, non-linear, and so initially that is one of the main part that I have discussed, that is the array, and another is structure. What it is, what structure is or anything, we have only maybe 20 to 25 minutes of time, because after that you have the aptitude class of Taposh sir. So we'll discuss here this way. So what is structure? Structure is, again, it can store multiple data, but it may store similar data or non-similar or dissimilar, whatever you would say, not similar data, not required. Means whether the data can be similar, whether the data can be not similar is not important. But the point is, if I need to store in a data set different kind of attributes of different types, then I should use the structure. Now, those who actually know the, let me mute again, otherwise. Those who actually know the object-oriented concepts, they have gone through the concept of class. What the class contains? Class directly do not store any kind of value. Rather, class tells that what are the different types of data it is going to store and what are the operations it is going to do with those data. So it takes the type of the data. The class definition include the type of the data and the method name that is going to be applied. Similarly, in the structure, what we do now, a structure definition tells us that what are the different types of data it is going to store. But in case of structure, no method name is there. So in case of structure definition, within the structure definition, there is no question of keeping any method. There is no question of keeping any method. Okay. So how should it look like, or how we can declare it? Now this structure definition, it starts with the keyword struct. The keyword struct. Now say you want to make a student database for collecting different information of the student. So how you can do it? Now if I want to make a database for student, I need student name. Now, so name means what? Name is one dimensional array. So character name. Suppose you are expecting that the size is 25. Int roll character section, and at the end of the structure definition, one semicolon is must. So this kind of thing, that I need a complete information about something. So what I can do? I cannot store all this information in a single array. Or if I take 3 different arrays, then also dealing with all the time, whenever I need to deal with the student, I need to deal with all these 3 types of data. So it's better that if I can store them in this way. This is the sole purpose of using the structure. A very clear-cut, easy approach that whenever I need to deal with different kind of data, or rather whenever I need to deal with say different kind of attributes which are by nature of different type, then I need to use the structure. Now this is the definition of the structure only. How I can use the variables of it? Now this is struct student, and then you declare the variable name. So S1 and S2, these two are structure variable of the type student. So student is a data type that you have prepared, you have declared, and you are going to use it. How you will use it? Now you can use it with this variable. These two are instances of the student. These two are instances of the student. You may say, those who are familiar with object-oriented concept, student is basically your class. S1 and S2 is the object. So you can use any variable name of this type. Now, how you can access individual member? If it is a normal structure, not a pointer, then S1 dot role, S1 dot section, so dot. S1 is student 1. So whatever the information you want to take, be name, be role, be section, everything can be done. So, and you can take the input with S1 dot. You can give the output with S1 dot. Similarly, you can do it for S2. Now we generally, when students are in the first year, we generally ask them to do a very simple program. It's already 11:38. So I'm requesting you, or rather I'm telling you that do a very simple program with the structure, which will take starting time and ending time, and calculate the difference between both the time in minutes. Do it using the structure only. Take the hour, minute, second, all this, or if you want to deal with second also, take all the 2 or 3 variables in such structure definition, and take the starting time and ending time from the user and calculate the difference between the time using your normal, means calculate the difference in time. So you need to declare a time structure, take the input for starting, take the input for ending, and calculate the difference in time. This is the thing I'm telling to you to it, because it's almost 11:40. I should not go for a very large discussion over it. So just do it. If you are facing any problem, just tell me. Just take 5 minutes, then little more I need to tell. So it's 11:40, complete it by 11:45. Then we'll, and if you have any query, then I will try to answer, or I need to tell a little bit thing. So I will tell that, and then I will hand over the class to Tapos sir. See, I can see here one student renamed himself with a dot. Anyway, I don't think that corporate cell people will find the attendance for a dot. Okay, fine. Have you done it? Have you done it? Are you able to take the inputs and getting the output? Have you done it? Also doing. Okay, fine. Do it. Just check, because if our structure definition and accessing elements are not clear to us properly, we will face the problem in linked list program. So that's why I'm asking you to do, because this is the normal structure. Then we will do with structure pointer and all. So before that, at least be habituate with accessing the structure elements. You can declare it anywhere. If you want to use locally, you declare it locally. In the linked list program, I usually declare it globally. The reason is, in the linked list program, huge number of functions are there. That's why I declare it globally. But for a simple program, you can declare it locally also. That's your choice. Yeah. Two, three things that I should mention today before I end the class. That yes, I have shown you that you can letter write struct student and take different objects. That is okay. If you want to write here S1, S2, S3. That is also okay. If you want to write it only struct, then your required data, the same data, and then you write S1, S2, S3, whatever your requirement, that is it also okay. So all these are there which we can use if we want to declare and use the structure variable. Now, if it requires more than one variable, suppose I want to know all these information for the entire class. One class may be of 75 students. Then you may declare it as struct student array of structure. How I can access the element? If for a normal structure element access, if I was doing this, now with array, with the loop will be obviously there. So S1 of I indicating one particular structure element, and then S1 dot I. So one I will be there. Fine. And another interesting thing is how the structure elements are getting stored. Again, they are getting stored in contiguous manner, one by one. So if I say the name is X, so X will be stored here. Suppose here I didn't have taken a character array, so a single character. Suppose X is stored in here. Then the roll, suppose roll is 23, so roll will be stored here. Suppose the marks 8.87. See, three different types of data type. Here char, it is integer, it is float, is getting stored one by one. How things will how much memory will be required? 0 to 1, because it's a one character. This is integer. So as of now in the present compiler, that is of 4 byte. So this will be 1 plus 4. So this, and this is your float again 4. So 9 maybe. So if I consider the entire size of the structure, this is of 1 byte, this is of 4 byte, this is of 4 byte. So altogether 9 byte. Fine. So whenever we will deal with the structure, that is also very much important, that sometimes it would be important for us that what will be the array of structure, or means what will be the size of the structure. And whenever we need, so that means S175, what will be the size? Now 75 into 9, what will be the total value? That is the requirement of memory if I want to store this. Right. Now, sometimes whenever we do the structured program, we may face some problem. What? Now, sometimes it happens that whenever we use this name and all these things with a certain large array and all, sometimes it will not generate any error, but it will not give us the proper output also. That happens because of the fact, because there is a limitation in the primary memory maybe. So it cannot, so the point is it will hold the element in, and if multiple structure element is there, suppose S1, S2 and all those there, it will be stored one by one. Means it will start from the location number 10 and this way. It will be, so the next element, if it is S2, then it will start from this location directly. So there may be insufficiency of the
Can you
space.
repeat this thought?
Yeah, I am repeating because there are people who always try to speak. I'm just telling this one that whenever you are trying to get the size of the structure, so how it will store? Now the way you have taken the input, the structure is being defined. So if different type of data is there, it will be stored in one by one fashion. First the character, then the integer, then the float. So as a whole, this 0 to 9, this is as a whole giving in the entire allocation of the structure data. Now, if you have more element, if you have more structure, so it will be stored one by one. From here, the next structure will start and so on. Okay, from there it will store the next structure, and that is the way things will be getting stored. Now, if it is an array, obviously the contiguous allocation is also important. So it will be stored in maybe one by one locations, in a contiguous manner. But sometimes you may face some problem that there may be name and all those things. You have taken large size of array to store the name and all, but due to as the storing of the structure element is like this, there may be insufficiency of the space and you may not be able to get the desirable output, although it will not create any kind of error. Okay. Another thing that is, nested structure is also there, that as a structure element, you can use another structure that is valid. And the most important thing that we need to deal with from maybe the next class when we will discuss the linked list. See, you have taken, if you want to, if you declare struct student S1, then you are accessing the element as S1 dot. If you have declared it as suppose S210, then you will access the element as S2 in the third bracket I, consider the loop variable is I, then dot. But if you want to access it using the pointer, then there must be first of all one pointer variable of this structure type, say P, and then P will be assigned with the structure is one, not the student, because it is do not having any physical existence. The physical existence you will get for one structure reference variable, or you may say structure object. So S1, then you can access it. Instead of dot, you need to use arrow operator. E arrow name. E arrow. So before that, what you need to do? You need to have your structure definition. You need to have the structure. You need to have a pointer which is a structure pointer. Then only you can access the element with the arrow operator. Fine. So this is just the basic things of the structure. In the next class onwards, we may start with the linked list discussion maybe. So go through all these concepts. Plenty of books are available in the market, in the library or anywhere, obviously in the stock you may have also. Go through all these, otherwise it won't be possible to understand the things if we go for the discussions in linked list. If you don't understand the structure, you will face difficulty to understand the linked list. Okay. So anything else you want to ask, you may put forward or you may contact later, because sir has already joined. So I'm making sir the host. And I'm stopping my screen sharing. That's all.
Recording stopped.